beautiful mountain that you have a world iconic site that you have overlooking this bay, and you have this ocean with the sun setting in the distance as well. So we're going to make a short stop at this place called Maiden's Road. This is like the first opening.
This is the lion head. Second time?
Yeah, their first time.
Oh.
Okay,
First time,
hold
yeah.
on.
So these beach houses must be very expensive.
Look what you've done with that. Table Mountain.
enjoy taking the pictures. And this is just only first stop, but everyone would like to stay more here, get the fresh air from the ocean.
The Khoi, and they were cattle herders and
We are
farmers
heading to
and
Camps
the San
Bay.
people who were nomadic, and they hunted and gathered food. And they walked around the beaches to collect shellfish, the shells around Cape Town. So they were instrumental in the development of this area. And these indigenous people were all over the Western Cape. And they were very spiritual in nature because they believed in everything that Earth has to give them. And they never wasted it. They only took what they needed, and they would never take more. They would only use all the plants for the medicinal purposes and whatever. And a family of 30 would kill a big eland, which is the biggest antelope, and eat it for 30 days. For 3 months, sorry. For 3 months they would feed on that antelope. They will use the horns as quivers for their arrows or for water carry. They will use the skin for their clothes, and they will eat every part of the body, and they will not kill anymore.
Here, people can swim here now. This part.
So you can't swim any part of the Atlantic Ocean. It's ice. You can swim if you want. If you can stand the cold water, you can swim. There's a tidal pool here that's probably warmer, and you can go swim in this, what they call a tidal. This one? Yeah. So there are lots of those kind of tidal pools around where there's rocky ocean. And on the other side of Cape Town, there's also lots of those tidal pools as well. This area incidentally is called Bakoven. Now the English translation is from an Afrikaans word, would probably mean bake oven. I don't know why they call it that. But all that you see in the ocean is called kelp. In the water there, that's all called kelp. And you know the kelp is very good for cosmetics and soaps and stuff that they use it. So they don't harvest it here, but if you dive amongst that, and you'll see it looks like a forest under the ocean. All these 2, 3, 4, 5 meter long stems with these so you can see these properties. I mean, this house, building here, incidentally, there was a big house there, but it was blocking the view of the neighbors behind. So the council advised him to knock it down. So they're rebuilding a complete house. But these are rich people. To knock down a 10 million house, it's not so big a deal. We'll just build another one. So a lot of wealthy people. Now, unfortunately, I told you the population split.
Yeah, the very what?
Most of the wealth in this country belongs to the 7%.
The white.
7%.
Yes. Most of property and land is owned by 7% of the property. So in terms of the legacy of apartheid, you understand what apartheid is? Anybody know what it means? You've never heard of it? Okay, I'll give you some history of that later on.
7% นี่ก็จะเป็นคนขาวนะคะ แล้วก็ที่เหลือ 93% เป็นคนผิวดำ
Because I grew up in that era. So I can explain to you firsthand the experiences I encountered. But having said that, as I said, so the wealth and property hasn't changed much because the 7%, which is the white community in South Africa, of the population still owns everything and still controls the finance in the world. All of this areas around here, this was predominantly areas where the 7% of the population lived. All the beautiful coastal areas, you can see the quality of the roads, you can see how clean it is, everything is beautiful. There's another side to Cape Town which you must be aware of. That side is the poorer side, the townships.
They saw.
Are we going there?
From the airport.
From the airport.
Are we going there?
We're not going there.
We're not going there.
I can't guarantee your safety, so I won't take you there.
Okay.
So that's something that I, very hesitantly, unless I get a step-on guide who knows the township, who can explain it to you, but I personally don't want to take that kind of risk. Not with you guys, you know what I mean? You're available, so I will try my best. Now, we're entering into more natural environment. We've now passed the housing suburbs. You can see these are all natural environment around you. You see the vegetation. Now, this vegetation is a complete biosphere on its own.
Good question from Smoke. Are those vacation houses or residences?
Most of them are residences. But some people, they rent their house out. They make some. Yeah, sometimes they rent it out. They put it on some website.
We were gonna do that. Remember, Sunny? That's the one we were
Yeah.
gonna do that.
There are some fancy villas in Clifton and in Camps Bay that you can actually rent. People pay a fortune for it, you know that. You get these big 10-room villas, etc. Beautiful. But yeah, of course. I mean, but then if you're not in the waterfront area, then you have to take transport everywhere you go, and that's another challenge for logistically, you know. But
How
if you-
safe are those areas for
Have you got a closet?
Yeah.
Okay, give me my jacket.
Yeah, there.
Okay, so now you can see it on that side.
We are heading off to House Bay, the Seal Island.
Is it on?
It's on, I think
It look like
maybe they just close.
the
If you open the
froggy
civic corridor,
froggy is clear up little bit.
Yeah. It's just that all these warm bodies on the inside and the cold air outside. So Chapman Speak that we are going to go to, the name Chapman has no significance from the person whom they actually named it from. Because Chapman was just a little seaman and the captain says, please can you find an anchorage? And he got in his rowing little dinghy and he got an anchorage. But the pass that we're going to go through, or the route, was constructed in 1913 when the then governor of the Cape, called Sir Nick de Waal, commissioned this road, this Chapman Speak Road, to connect the southern suburbs with Cape Town. And when they started building it, they used Italian prisoners of war. But so many of them got killed on this road that they stopped and they used convict labor thereafter. So it took them about 7 years to build this road, and it's one of the most treacherous parts of the world. And you know, of course, convicts in those days were a little bit more expendable, so they used convict labor because the cliffs were so steep. Remember, they didn't have the machinery they have today. In early 1910 and 13, they didn't have this fancy machinery, so it was a lot of blasting, guys hanging down the cliffs, making holes and blowing away the mountain. We will stop at the top of the...
I'm curious. Boulder's Beach, is it along the way to Penguins or no?
It is close by the mill.
Do you think it's wise to drop by so Sunny and his daughter can see it?
We can.
Because they're either leaving Wednesday morning.
Okay. It just was going to cut our day because we have to be
But
here.
just keep it open.
We'll try. Okay, we'll see how we manage. Okay.
All right.
From a time if the photo shoots a bit shorter, we'll be able to. We'll try our best. See what we can do. So this is like how, as I said,
The
is a
apartments are so nice. Yeah.
A gallery, a lot of art.
I think A2A Safaris lives here.
Oh,
Yeah, lit. Yeah, diba?
wasn't there some people
Yeah, same. A view of the water.
beautiful sunset? We had sunset drinks.
Yeah, we also had, we had dinner.
Is weed legal here?
Lit and cute, no?
Is weed legal?
Marijuana.
weed is legal, but you need to have special license. Not everybody can sell it.
Oh.
But everybody can smoke it.
I don't find people smoking it openly.
Medicinal. It's for medicinal.
Yeah, it's approved of medicinal, but I think you can smoke also, but
Because we smelled it a while ago.
Did you where?
Yes, by the bato. By the rocks. You
Oh,
can
did you smell somebody
marijuana.
smoking?
Yeah.
Okay, I suppose that is probably, I think the cops will probably turn the blind eye, but it's not as widespread smoking, you know. But I mean, a lot of the youngsters, they grow up smoking weed, you know. But drugs is a big problem in Cape Town.
I know.
It's
What
huge
type of
problem. Amphetamine.
Yeah, meth.
Amen. That's scary because that's violent. It's a violent.
Yeah, yeah. And that's why we have such great power, a lot of violence. Our crime is not just the crime of robbing.
It's better to legalize marijuana than
Yes, it's fine.
That's violent crime as well. That's why certain places are out of bounds. You never walk in the city, the central city of Cape Town, anytime at night. This is not safe. The waterfront to walk around is perfect, no problem. Anywhere outside of the mall, around the waterfront. But on the outside of the footprint, it's best to be accompanied, and there's some places that is absolutely a no-go areas. Right? So most, see, the thing is the city is a legacy of the apartheid system, where in the old days people used to travel from long distances because remember we were segregated in terms of our residential suburbs, so it wasn't the same. So most of the township was built in more dusty, sandy places outside of the city, which means that those people who works in the city had to travel for an hour, 2 hours to get into the city, and every night they have to then home. Then mass exodus happens again. They all have to travel back home. So nobody lived in the city. It was mostly offices. So what happened was the city became deserted. Still today is the same thing. There are now loft apartments that people can afford buy. These buildings and apartments. But most of the time it's very deserted in the city. So what happens is that there's a lot of homeless people in the city, a lot of crazies also, drug addicts. And when they see somebody there, it looks like a foreigner, they can smell a tourist a mile away. So you become vulnerable in that regard.
Downtown.
So this is what we call This is regarded as one of the most beautiful scenic routes in the world. Even greater and better than the Big Sur in California. Have you been on that? Yes. Yeah. So if anybody's been there, they want to compare and they say, this is Hout Bay Beach, and there's just kelp that's washed up on the beach. It's normally cleared out soon. But yeah, this is a nice little beach. But put your feet in the water, and I'm going to let you try it. You guys must feel the water. Put your feet in the water.
It's warm.
It's cold. This is Atlantic Ocean. It's ice cold.
We have sharks, I'm sure.
We have sharks around the Cape, and I'll tell you more about that later on. But that's the harbor. We're going to come to this afternoon for lunch. Karen, we're not coming back this route, but we're coming another route. Then we're going to have lunch over there at that little yacht club over there.
Yes.
And then you'll take a boat out to go to Seal Island to go see the seals later on this afternoon as well. So we've got a Seal Island book for 3:15. We have to make it, otherwise we can't. If we go for lunch later, we're going to miss that seal. That's my point.
3:15 is 3:15.
3:15. So 3:15, and lunch is booked for 1:30. So if we go later for lunch, it means we're going to chow very quickly to be on the boat at 3:15. We don't want to miss that. Okay, so we're going to stop at the peak, at the top there, and we'll get out and we'll have to cross over the road in order to see. We're going to do. There's some nice spots to take some nice pictures as well, and that's where we'll go. Sorry, there's no Wi-Fi in the bus. This bus.
It was your wife.
But if you do need, I can give you a hotspot if you want.
Philip has a roaming.
Oh, okay. I remember the last time you had Wi-Fi.
I have wife.
You do it up there. You have got some.
DJ was roaming from here.
Yeah. You have this international electronic SIM. Yeah. I should make two of those. So, did you see a lot of hippos in the Okabanga?
Yeah, like 20 plus. In front of our
Right in front of our lodge.
Now that you've finished the Okabanga, do you know that more people are killed in Africa by hippos than any other animal?
No.
Oh my god.
Now that you've seen it.
They swim in front of our rooms.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait, why?
Karen was promoting
Not
them.
the lions.
The hippos kills more people than any other animal in Africa.
They're aggressive. No? They're aggressive. Huh?
They're a very aggressive animal. They don't like people.
No, but where are the people for the hippos to attack them? I mean,
People like you.
Hippos and people attack boats.
huh?
Sometimes people are in these dugout boats, and they go
Oh,
and
you knew they're in a boat.
they'll attack the boat as well. And they get them out. Once you're in the water, it's over.
Nasa boat. Pag
Have you seen that big long teeth they have in their front teeth? They have four big teeth like this long.
Oh my god.
Have you
One
seen
of those gets into you,
Oh my
you're dead.
gosh.
Yeah, you didn't know that.
I didn't know.
No, they didn't That's why I'm telling you now. I don't want to tell you before.
People in Africa, hippos kill the most people. More than
More than any animal.
More than any
Well,
animal.
if you regard malaria as an animal, then of course malaria is the
Of
first.
course, yeah. No, but I mean, you'd think it was a lion, right? Or a leopard, but no. Pwede tayo kinain. No, no way.
No, if they attack us in our rooms, do they attack people in their lodges?
I think we have to break close.
Ashraf.
How much is it?
I think it's 245.
Attack us in their front of us.
DJ meron sa sabi.
What?
Ayun. Bayo Jesse. DJ baka may dala.
What's ahead?
Small.
Here you go.
Pabili tayo small meron yun siya. Wait, Ashraf.
Yes.
Do they attack in the lodges?
I'm not sure exactly how they attack. or when they attack, but if they see you, they will run at you and attack you. If they feel threatened by you, they will immediately, and they always feel threatened.
They attack.
Yeah, they always
Wait, you read the news recently? The revenge of the orcas. So
Of
many
the orcas.
so many orcas worldwide are attacking boats. So let's say you have a little yacht or whatever, and they
But
know
we
what
are just
attack,
keep it-
they attack the rudder.
We're gonna need that slip now. Sorry, yes, I know.
But because their food chain has changed.
Maybe their food and what's changed. Naiinis na sila.
They,
No,
they have less sleep, so they're attacking.
No, that's true.
No, you can put it in bed.
Huh?
We don't have the pass only
Oh,
the fence
okay.
for the smokers.
Yeah, no, the orcas have become a phenomenon, even here in Cape Town as well.
Oh, you have orcas here?
This
The orcas have been coming in. So, I'll tell you when we're on the other side.
Do they need to check
You know where we
again?
are on the map?
They want to check again or not?
No.
Then keep it here.
That mountain over there is called the Sentinel. And remember I told you about a place called Latgata on the other side? So there's a nice hike, about an 8-hour hike, all around the other side. All sandy where the new beach. When you get there, take a closer, you go over the beach, and when you go back on. I'm joking.
But is it really a nudist beach? It is.
So when we stop
Can't
here,
just get to be.
No, it doesn't have to be. But I did a lot of, I want to do small cuts of strange people.
What are you nagre-record?
All the strange people go to this beach.
They said it's always the people you don't want to go.
Yeah, exactly. I have some strange requests. The other day I have a guy, a young guy. So, can you take me to Sandway?
People like to
In
do
this
bicycle here. It's quite challenging. Every year they will have bicycle on the Cape
I stayed in the car park. I said, okay, you go.
called Toss something.
But anyway, so that side,
People around the world like to come for bicycle race.
I mean, 35 because if you have a wide body, you get a nice copper can, all over there. And yeah, that's what people come. So this is the bay of how to Bay, this bay as you see it. And we're going to stop at the top. So we can't stop on this on the other side, or unless we can. There's
no,
space.
we can stop this. I look like it's empty.
Is it empty?
Yeah.
Okay, there's no problem. But it's not the same as it empty.
Oh, they want to check here.
No, not for us.
Down in the place to be. Forget your cares and more, most definitely.
Yes, I know. But you didn't hear the history. In August every month, we have what they call the big wave surfers flying in from all over the world. Because the swell gets so big, there's two places here. The one is called Dungeons over here, and the other one is behind us where we swim across it. Where the waves get to about 5 meters high. And these big wave surfers come here to surf those big waves. And of course they get pulled in with a jet ski. I don't know if anybody has seen any footage of Nazaré, Portugal.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
100 feet.
I used to surf, but that's a killer. I would never even attempt anything close to that. That's a 100-foot wave in Nazaré. Here we get 5 feet. Sorry, 5 meters, which is about 20 odd, which is not bad either.
It's huge too.
That's also big. I mean, for me, even a 10-foot wave is a big wave. Because I've already been crushed by a 10-foot wave, and I know what it feels like. You get churned underneath the water. Anyway, this is the road. As I said to you, you can see if you go that side, it's a straight down into the ocean cliff on the other side. And they actually closed this road a few years ago. Now I can tell you because we're on it.
Landslides.
Because a lady with the kids, a rock fell on the car and they went down the cliff. So they had to close it because it became very dangerous. But if you look at this road, you can see they've done a very good job. They had to open it later on after they fixed up all the dangerous parts of the road. They put cladding around the rocks. They put netting up to prevent rocks from falling. Because remember, this is both granite rock. If you look at the sediments of the rock, you can see the different layers of rock. You'll see yellow color, you'll see darker colors, and that will say to you the yellow color is a sandstone rock. The granite rock, you can see this is all granite here, and then you get Malmesbury shale. And it's the granite rock and the sandstone that erodes, especially when it rains, so it gets wet, it falls down and it breaks down. But if you look at this amazing road and the feature of the engineering feature of this road, you'll see it coming up. Look what they've done. They've carved it out of the rock face to broaden the road.
Like that. Look like a Roman Catholic.
And if you look on the
Pillar.
other side, for the not so faint-hearted, don't look that side. Because that's quite steep down the other side.
Do people die here like they fall off?
No, they don't.
Look at the architecture
They
here.
used to, but then they fixed the road up.
Beautiful here.
And the road's much broader now than what it was before. So you can imagine
It's
what it was like in
amazing.
the old days. When this road was just, well, not a single, but a very narrow part. And on the verge, there was no pavements on that side. And there was no barriers on the sides as well. So, yeah. And this is one of the routes that the cycle tour comes up on. You can see it's quite a nice long climb with the bicycle. And it's a very popular sport, cycling in South Africa. And of course, I don't know if you people have it, but we have a lot of road rage. Cyclists and motorists don't get along well. They're always fighting because cyclists think that they go fast and then they want to cycle 3 abreast. So they hold up the whole road and they're only cycling at about 20 kilometers per hour. Can you imagine driving at 20 kilometers? It's frustrating. And you hoot, and they think they're invincible. They give you all kinds of funny signs with their hand. But of course, sometimes you have a motorist that's impatient who been cut in front. I've had two friends, the reason why I stopped cycling, I had two friends who were seriously injured. That one took him 3 years to recover from his injuries. Broken collarbone, broken pelvis. You can imagine how long that takes to recover. So yeah, I said, this is Long Beach.
Nice.
This is an 8-kilometer beach, and if you're interested in horse riding, they've got a number of stables here so that you can rent a horse and you can spend the whole day. There's something you can do also, rent some horses and come ride on the beach here. This beach is famous, a very famous movie years ago was made here where the riding scenes were taken on this beach.
What movie?
Now you tell me, if you tell me you know this movie, it tells me your age. It's called Ryan's Daughter with Robert Mitchum. If you know this movie, then you're too old to be in this bus.
I know who Robert Mitchum is.
You know Robert Mitchum. Anyway, it's an interesting war story movie about some officer who came to Ireland and he had a relationship with the priest's wife.
Look at that beach. And people swim there summer.
Atlantic, cold, so it's not really. People surf here, but they don't really swim.
Why
So
aren't there more houses or construction? I'm curious. It's such a big
this is a wetland area. So this is like a very delicate, preserved area. So you know you can't build there to preserve the. There's a lot of wild animals like small birds and stuff that you want to protect. So that's why they don't build there. So that whole section there, that's a wetlands area. So yeah, as you can see, this is called Noordhoek, this area, north corner, number of stables. And in down this valley, there's a resort called Monkey Valley Resort down there. So all the houses, the resort's roofs are made of thatch. So it sort of blends into the environment as well. So it's going to be a little bit of a longer drive now, maybe about 40 minutes to the Cape of Good Hope. If you need to go to the toilet, anybody who needs to go urgently? Nobody? Okay, that's good. So we can